Ladies and gentlemen, we are losing the ancient texts, and it is time that we discuss it. I'm constantly getting questions in my streams and on every platform about how to effectively get the skinniest waist possible. And although the proverbs are true, you cannot outrun a bad diet, something that a lot of people are forgetting is that size in the correct place can make you look smaller. Which is why today we are discussing shoulders and back. Most men I talk to want to look big without looking like a rectangle. And adding more shoulder and back workouts to your general routine at the gym is going to help so much in creating a large posture that's going to help you look more beefed up than you actually are. So before we start, let's get a quick technical rundown. You've got your shoulders, meaning your deltoids. Those are in three parts. You got your front delts, side, and back. And then we have our back, which in this case, I'm referring to the lats. And obviously there are other muscle groups that make up the entire back. However, this video is about movements that are often ignored. And so today, the back is just shorthand for the lats. Now, the star of the show that's really going to add some girth to your shoulders are your lateral raises. Now, I love a lateral raise because not only does it target the entire deltoid, it also focuses attention on your traps, your rotator cuff, and as a bonus action, you get a little bit of attention on your forearms because the way your grip fights against gravity as you lift the weight up. But that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's get into the technique. How do we do a lateral raise? Thank you so much for asking. I will show you. A standard lateral raise is going to start with a little bit of a forward lean. So a lot of people think they should have their shoulders back, standing nice and tall with their weights perfectly at their side, and that's just not the case. You actually want a little bit of a lean forward, similar to a tricep pull down, so you can get that full range of motion. Second, we got a 45-degree angle. It is a mistake to assume that the weight goes straight out to create this kind of T pose with the dumbbells in your hand. You want to bring your weights forward a little bit so they're right in between, completely in front of you and at your side, i.e. a 45-degree angle as you lift. Next, we are going to control the lift. This means we don't want to raise the weights too high. There is no muscular benefit, and by doing so, you're using different muscle groups to keep your weights in the air, and that's not what we want to focus on. Next, we are not gonna shrug. Similar to raising your arms too high, you don't want to be lifting your shoulders up to your ears because then you're not zeroing in on the delts. Now our traps are trying to compensate for what the other muscle groups aren't doing. So make sure your chest is high, your shoulders are pulled back, and you're not shrugging to yank the weights up. Point number 5. We're going to bend our arms a little. So what I like to do is flex my biceps so there's a little bit of bend in my arm and keep that pose as still and rigid as possible, almost like my arm is in a cast. By keeping my arm as still as I can, all the attention is on my shoulders and I can get the most lift out of the movement as possible. Now on to our last 2 points. Pardon me as I squat. Don't lean back and keep those palms down. Leaning back is killer for this move because it completely takes away any of your stability that you might have. Also, if you're swinging your body as you're trying to lift the weights, you're using inertia instead of your muscle to lift the dumbbells, and that's just going to take away from your gains, and it's also terrible for your form. And regarding keeping your palms down, any kind of tilt forward or up is going to just put extra pressure on your rotator cuff, gonna do damage down the line, and it's best to just stay away from it. So that's the technique of the lateral raise. Now let's go over execution. This is not a movement that you're going to be lifting real heavy for. No one cares what your max lateral raise single rep is. And also, this isn't a movement like bench presses or deadlifts where you do 10 reps 4 times. In most cases, you're gonna be wanting to get more reps out of this, so you can really fatigue those muscle groups. It's going to be different for everybody, but generally what I'd recommend is 10, 12, even 15 reps 10 times. If that's too easy, increase those reps or increase the weight a little bit. If that's too hard, lower the rep count and see how you do from there. Oh God, I caught it. Wow. Did you see that? Did you see that was on camera? Did you see that? Anyway, now with all that being said, I know I just spent an annoying amount of time going over all the technique, but, and you didn't hear this from me, I think a messy lateral raise can be really, really effective. Now, I'm not asking you to ignore what makes a proper lateral raise work, but a little bit of a messy kick as you lift those weights up and give it as much power as you can is going to really help getting you to hypertrophy. So finding the balance between proper form and also making sure you're getting the most out of the lift is really necessary in my book. And there's tons of variations of the lateral raise that you can do. You can do kneeling, you can do seated, you can even do single arm cable lateral raises. Those are great for really slowing down the movement and getting the most out of the function in one individual side. But it all comes down to what you're comfortable with. Now, as a little extra credit, we're going to talk about the forward raise. And these are what we call an accessory motion, something that's additional to the workout, not quite the main event. Front raise is different because it focuses more on the front delt as well as a little bit of the upper chest. So I love tacking them on to a chest day or anytime I'm doing upper body. They are awesome. The technique for them are virtually the same as lateral raises, except for the fact you won't be doing it at a 45 angle. You'll be doing them straight forward, as well as keeping your palms down isn't entirely necessary because you can use other tools like plates to lift and get just as much out of it. So add these movements into your workouts at a regular basis, and they're really going to beef up your shoulders. Now, a movement that I absolutely love that I don't see a lot of people doing at the gym is the reverse fly. This movement's going to work a lot of your upper back. However, I love the way it also hits my lats, and they're another great accessory movement that are fantastic for finishing out a workout when you just got a little bit more in the tank and you want to lift a little bit more. For your reverse flies, we're going to keep our hips back, our heels down, our back flat, virtually the same position you have for prepping a deadlift. I have videos on that. Go check it out. Next, you want your biceps flexed. You want your body still. As you lift, you're going to pinch your shoulder blades together. And similar to the lateral raises, these are a lighter weight movement. So it's not about going the heaviest. It's about your control and how much you can push yourself to fatiguing your muscles. If you have trouble with this body position, you can also use a bench at an incline and replicate the movement from there. Now, let me reiterate, this is not the best movement for growing your back. It's one of my favorites that a lot of people forget to do. Reverse flies are not a replacement for rows or deadlifts, pull-ups or pull-downs. What I mean is this is supplemental that will only help you grow faster. In the same way triceps are the unsung heroes in making your arms look larger, shoulders are the unsung heroes in making your waist look skinny. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer. Let me know if there's any topics you want me to go over in detail in the next video. And as always, have a good one.